I need a headset.
I hate puppies.
It's a good podcast.
I feel threatened.
It's good to be back.
I thought you were going to say, I need a headset. Again.
Or that.
I believe that is the official first words everybody heard tonight. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Pallet House. Hope the week has been treating you well and you're looking forward to an even better weekend. If you're here, you already know what we're about. We're the only podcast dedicated to solving first world problems. By first world problems, I don't mean sports. I don't mean politics. I mean wild boars and shit. Which actually sounds more like a third world problem. No, not anymore.
No.
Not anymore.
We're going to make it first world.
That's right. And, of course, always trying to help you find a good beer. You know, I actually saw one of the guys from the Scandals trip send something out.
Oh, nice.
On a group text, and it was the beer we had.
Oh, really?
From last week.
Nice.
So there was a little shout out on the group text. There was a picture of that
So he
beer.
listened to it. He listened to the podcast?
I think all of them did.
Oh, wow.
I think every one of them did. Because definitely if I misspoke, I was notified.
Oh, did they say you got something wrong? Was there some fact checking?
Uh-oh.
No fact checking. Just I did get called out by one guy about one thing. I'm gonna leave that alone though, because I was called out. I will leave it alone. But otherwise, all the reviews were really positive.
Did my formal invite get pushed out?
Not yet, but I say you keep pushing for it
Nice.
because you know the odds of them listening again are good for this week and bad for next.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, if they like you, they'll love me.
I don't think they do. I think I am just tolerated.
If they tolerate you, they might like me.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. No, I think I'm tolerated. You know, like a mild sunburn. Not enough to really ruin your day, but you know it's there.
No blisters.
Exactly.
But your buddy smacks you on the back and you remember that you were out in the sun all day.
You're fully aware.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a reminder of good times.
Yeah, you sent me a couple of those pictures, and I was scrolling through my phone the other day, and one of them popped up, and I was like, damn, that's still, it looks amazing out there.
It certainly was. It was cool. You know what's interesting is that if those guys stuck around to the end, they got the once-a-year Sullivan Blue drop.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's wild.
I always like to hear that.
Mm.
Me too. It's little sad, little cool, little nostalgic. I remember the Civil War. Not a nostalgia for me.
I'm always jealous of people, and it's definitely...
No, you just leave it right there.
Oh, yeah, I'm jealous of people. Correct.
100%.
The written word is just so far gone, and writing letters and stuff is... I mean, we were kind of... I think our generation was kind of barely taught how to write a proper letter. But
yeah, you understand the formatting, like where to indent, what to do.
But you haven't had to do it since school, so
no. And when you do, you're like, ooh, okay. And then the next thing you do is look for the paper clip. Where's Clippy?
Yeah.
And then Clippy's not there anymore. You're like, I'm lost.
Yeah.
Well, I was always a poor speller. Like whenever we did those spelling bees in the class, and everybody stood up and you sit down, I'd make it a round or two. And ever since college, when Word came out, it's like. My spelling has just fallen off the side of a table. I can't and I don't even try anymore because I'm I'm typing on the computer. And I'm like, I'm just gonna wait till I'm gonna hit something till the red line shows up and then I'll correct it.
To this day, I can't spell unfortunately.
Yeah.
Ooh. I can't for the life of me.
Yeah.
I know it ends in Ely. I've taught myself that much that it ends in ELY, but I still can't get it right. And so I do an approximation. And then I right click, fix it.
What's daggers is when you're so far off, it doesn't even give you
the correct spelling.
Yeah, it's like I got nothing for you, motherfucker. And I'm like, come on, I can't be that far off.
That one for me is apologies. If I say my apologies, it's always like you tried to say apologize. I'm like, I really didn't.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Stu.
Well, I was gonna say you're on the computer enough. I've noticed. I guess it's maybe the last year and a half that Google with your email is doing the predictive text to finish the sentence. And I kind of noticed that, and I started really reading into everybody's email from a 10,000-foot perspective, looking at a big picture.
Yep.
And everybody's email is the same.
Yeah.
It's the same endings. It's the same sentences. For the most part, outside of the content that's related to what you're trying to get across, it's the same little predictive adjectives and things like that.
Click that tab, and it fills it out for you. And you're just like, let me move through this email.
What's your standard email goodbye? Not your salutation, but
the sentence before thank you?
No, like some people
sincerely?
like regards, sincerely. Like, what's your typical?
I always say thanks.
So you're a thanks guy.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm typically a thank you or it depending on the person. I talk to you later.
I tried get fucked. That didn't go over well.
That doesn't get well. Google shut down.
Supervisor had something to say about that.
Get fucked, but like positive.
Yeah.
Get fucked.
Not fuck you. Like get fucked.
Yeah. No, that is positive.
Yeah.
So I'm a big thanks guy, and I feel like it's so unprofessional.
I do too, but like I also like don't like the sincerelys and the best regards and
I like warmest regards.
Okay.
I don't use it very often, but if something in a certain situation, if I feel like thanks is not, I'll do warmest regards.
I like best.
Best is always interesting. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. I feel like I can't pull those off though. I just feel like I'm a thanks guy. Like
I'm a thanks guy too, but sometimes you're delivering bad news and then you're like, thanks. And it's always like, it always just feels a little insincere.
Yeah.
Like, so I ran over your dog.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I'm going to need you to come in Sunday and fill out those TPS reports. Thanks.
Yeah. Now, my favorite should be no surprise to listeners. I do like to end with cheers.
Cheers. Yeah.
But that is a whole nother level. Like,
I feel like that is definitely.
It has to be unprofessional.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we're talking about good times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I will slide in a cheers at the end. But it has to, I also feel like that implies that like either I'm drinking.
Yeah.
Or I think they're drinking.
Or we should be drinking.
And I don't know. I'm obviously just reading into it too much because I don't think anybody goes, he's drunk at noon.
Yeah.
But I think that.
I've definitely, in all the years of hanging out with you, I've picked up cheers. Like that's something I use a lot.
It's a great thank you.
Yeah.
My wife used to make fun of me all the time for it because I picked it up when I went over to England and Ireland. Like at the end of everything, cheers. It's just what they said. So I was like, boy, that is a much cooler way to say thanks.
Better than ciao.
Ciao.
Like ciao is pretentious as hell.
Ciao is hello and goodbye.
I believe, yeah, and same with aloha.
Aloha.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm not an island guy, so I definitely love aloha. Like, oh, you're Samoan? Like, no.
Yeah.
But
you got this tattoo.
Yeah.
You're talking about like signing off. I heard a thing on the radio the other day. They were talking about the top 5 backhanded like email subject lines.
Bless your heart.
Oh no, like the one was
one.
Per my previous email.
Oh.
You know, like or the things that if you didn't read my first email, or it's like
per my previous email is just a long way of saying get fucked.
Yeah.
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 It's like
it's the proper way to
ways
say it.
To say you didn't pay attention the first time.
So you don't say, Stu, you don't say peace out when you're finishing an email up?
No, I just have a little frog.
Smart.
Dude, we got some people in my office, and I don't know why they can't get this through their head. The supervisors have sent out multiple emails reminding them, but they reply all to everything.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and it'll be like received, and they have replied all and said received. Like,
a lot of times,
do not
though,
have to do that.
It's just to prove that you're on it to everybody. But like I hear you. Like I send a lot of my thank yous one-off.
Yeah.
But everyone else is replying all so often that I feel like sometimes you have to like reply all. Like no one else has to jump in here. Like I'm on it.
But then you run the risk of replying to someone, and you do reply all, and you say, "Dickhead sales manager wants us to do this shit."
Oh, I've definitely replied with a client in there, unbeknownst to me, and like doing internal talk. Fortunately, I never talk smack. But it's still always like, oh, damn it. You always feel bad. You're like, all right, well, now they know what's going on in my mind. That I would have been much more proper.
I guess the girl in the next cubicle over is not going out with me now.
They never were.
I guess that ping, that email sound I have on my work phone, I hate hearing it. Like every time I hear it, I'm like, oh, here we go. So when I get it and I see it's a reply all to something that I'm just like, it just sets me off. I'm like, why would you do that? Like,
well, I get so many emails because I'm in this position where I'm copied on more than I need to deal with. I'd say 10% of all my emails I actually have to respond.
Yeah.
So the other 9 emails, I just have to make sure that I read and move on.
Yeah.
And
I get a bunch of those too.
This happened. I don't know if any of you have ever had a panic attack, and I don't know if that's really what I had, but this was a couple years ago. Like, I couldn't win. Like, the day was just rolling, and I mean, things were wrong. Things kept coming in wrong. Like, I need help, and they were all things that, like, I do have to deal with. Like, I'm in the position where I can try to fix it, but it was like multiple screw ups, like issue, and I'm like trying to play triage with it. And so like you're halfway through an email and then the next one comes in and you're like, oh, that one's actually worse. I probably need to jump on that. Yeah. Then you're halfway through that email and then it's like, oh, that one's even worse. So you're halfway. So I have all these unfinished half-ass emails. And then there was this moment in time where I'm already kind of amped up and I'm feeling it like, man, I am having a tough go of staying on top of this stuff. And I'll be damned if my work cell phone started ringing, my desk phone started ringing, my personal phone started ringing. So I've got 3 different rings happening at the same time. I'm on email. The email is dinging away like bling, 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 like nonstop. And I'm just looking at everything and hearing this cacophony of noise.
Yeah.
And I'll be
That sounds like a panic attack. Like,
dude, everything tunneled out.
Yeah.
Like, just tunneled out, and I was, like, breathing heavy. I could feel my heart, and I was like, oh, no.
Yeah.
And I just stood up, and I'm just standing there, and I'm just hearing all this craziness, and I feel like I'm just going to fall over. And I was like...
I was going to say, standing up probably wasn't the right answer.
No, it turns out the right move was I left.
Yeah.
I just literally turned around, walked out of that room, down the stairs, went outside, and just stood there in the sun. Just birds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was there for like 15 minutes just standing in the yard like a moron.
Yeah.
And then everything just like went away. But that was a weird moment. And it was soon thereafter that I turned off the sound on my phone.
Yep.
On my work email.
That'll give you
on everything. There's no more noises coming out of those things, which now means that I miss stuff.
Yeah.
I miss calls.
But it's almost a form of PTSD. I mean, you get traumatized by hearing that sound over and over again, and you know whether it's good or bad, you've got to deal with it. And I mean, sometimes when I get a deal that's trying to close in that same day, and it's just going boom, 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 and you're
you had that visceral reaction where like you're hanging out with somebody else, and they're like, text message sound is your email sound, and it like pings a couple times. You're like, oh, what's going? And you're looking at your phone and your work phone, and you're like,
it's Saturday.
Yeah, like what's going on? Oh, that's my text message.
I hate that. Yeah, I got rid of all those sounds. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. I still see a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I guess visually I'm able to tolerate a lot more than audibly.
I think so my phone, I haven't done what most people do. Everything's the same. Whether it's Yahoo updating me about a sports notification, if it's an email, if it's a text, it's the same sound. Like
they're all different sounds.
Yeah,
they're all different sounds.
I just have to. Whenever I look at it, I'll just look at it.
I turn notifications off for everything except for text and email. Like I don't need to know like Yahoo. I don't need to know anything like that. Like we do the Marco Polo thing. Like that got out of hand. It's like I don't need all that stuff.
Yeah, and my personal phone, I went to like fun sounds because that was the only way I could tolerate it.
Yeah.
Like, so now it's just like ring, 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 ring.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a personal call. No. And work is all shrill.
Yeah.
Just really get in there like an earworm.
Yeah, no, I turned off the social media notifications. That was just getting ridiculous.
Never turned them on.
Yep.
Don't have social media on the phone at all. Which means I don't post because guess where you post from? Your phone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's
so
true.
The worst part is I take a picture. In order for me to actually get a picture onto social media,
you email it to yourself?
I have to email it to myself, download it, put it in a folder, get it, then put it on. It's such an arduous process that is just, nope.
Smart.
Not going to hear from me. I don't even have the ability to do it. which helps.
Yeah, I'm on one social media platform, and I hate it, and I don't want to get on it anymore. Like, and everybody's on so many of them now. It's just like, I can't take the one I'm on. I can't imagine doing multiple ones.
I've slowly switched over to like paying more attention to, like I didn't at all, but Instagram, because the Facebook, there's so many commentaries, there's so much bullshit stuff that I think on Instagram you're just seeing a photograph and you don't have to read into the comments. There's nothing. I don't even, if I'm getting that right, because I just really paid attention to it in the last like month.
Yeah, they'll fuck that up.
Well, Facebook doesn't care. They own it.
Yeah.
All that money goes to the same guy.
True.
Sending more schmucks to space. Is Zuckerberg going to go to space?
He's got to, right, to keep up with the other yahoos?
I mean, he has to.
He posted a picture of himself, I think, surfing or doing something at the same time that the guys were going into space. Like, this is what I'm doing.
Did he have his dick out so at least he could show his rocket?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
They do have that phallic rocket.
Bezos' rocket is a penis.
Yeah.
It is. It's glorious. I'm not even mad. Like, he put a giant helmet on it.
Yeah.
I was like, well done, sir.
Can you imagine being that rich and being like, yeah, I want to hurl my body into space? I mean, I'm not joking. I would have an island, and that would be my life. Like, if I was that, I'd let my money work for me. Those guys have ambition that I can't even begin to wrap my head around.
But they're fighting the same three people. Like, there's no one else to fight.
Yeah, yeah.
And could you imagine being surrounded by so many yes men that the first time you showed your rocket, and Bezos literally has a penis,
Yeah.
and everyone goes, yeah,
That's
cool.
beautiful.
That's great,
Yeah.
man. I love what you did. Like, could somebody please
Yeah, check him.
just go, hey, Jeff,
Well, that's what his wife would have done if he was still married, right? That's what your wives are for?
yeah, my wife checks me even when it's not necessary.
Yeah.
That guy is $2.5 million per minute for his flight on 11 minutes.
Yeah, and then that dummy came out and
said, yeah.
thank you to all the... I don't even have a problem saying thank you to all the customers of Amazon. You paid for this. But he said to the employees, thank you, you paid for this.
Yeah.
After all of the shit he's gotten for not paying enough and running these people into the ground, like, yeah, they really did, Jeff.
Yeah.
Either that was the most self-aware moment he's ever had,
Or
he's a total
unaware.
idiot.
Yeah.
And I don't know which it was, because I don't think he has the brains to be that self-aware. Like, okay, all you people peeing in cups and like still running, you did pay for it. Thank you.
I was listening to a podcast the other day. One of the guys said, let's be honest, isn't Amazon just a failed book company? Like, they got into the book business and they didn't do so well, and luckily they zigged when they should have zagged and ended up being more successful than they probably thought they were going to be.
I'm not even mad at him.
No.
Yeah.
Of the three guys, who would you rather have a beer with? Bezos, Elon Musk, or Richard Branson?
I had the opportunity to meet Branson at a convention. He's a nice guy.
Oh, I believe only... Well, so who would you rather have a beer with? Elon?
Branson seems like the coolest,
Definitely.
but Elon it just seems with all his Tesla and his like forward-thinking stuff, he'd be kind of cool to chit-chat with. And I mean, I've heard him on Rogan. He seems like a nice guy. I don't know much about Bezos. I feel like he's not in the public eye as much as the other two when it comes to...
Well, he can't stop from screwing up.
Yeah.
Elon is Asperger's, right?
Yes.
I mean,
by his admission.
Right.
Nobody knows if that's true, but he says
or
he's
whatever,
high-functioning Asperger's, yes.
So I think, to Troy's point, Branson's the cool. Like, he's got it. He's the cool...
He's the one to be like, let's go out on my boat. Let's hang out.
Yeah,
exactly.
He's
like, knows how to make a good
He'd be
drink.
like, let's go skydiving and then, cliff diving. Or like, he'd be like, he'd want to do epic cool shit all day. Jump in a shark cage or something like.
Yeah, I feel like Elon has really epic ideas.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much he goes through with them. But then he also does some weird kind of stuff. So like if you only get 2 hours with one of them to have a beer, your odds of having a really good time, in my mind, are probably best with Branson.
Yeah.
Second best with Elon. And then Bezos, I mean, he'll probably have you digging up a tree or something.
You're right.
Get to work.
Troy, you'd end up buying the beers. He's like, wait,
what just happened?
Yeah. To your Troy's point, I mean, he's a bookworm. Do you want to hang out with a bookworm? He just happened to fall into a whole lot of money, and he probably does. Like, he doesn't have the.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the X factor.
Well, wasn't Elon dating or still dating or something.
Grimes.
I thought wasn't Johnny Depp's ex with him or something for a minute.
Elon seems to be able to, get some good looking women,
Yeah.
but I think a lot of that has to do with money.
What?
Yeah, I think so. I know that's.
No.
I think maybe. We
need to run some tests or something because I don't believe that. I don't think that's how the world works.
Like Branson looks like he could actually get laid if he was poor.
Yeah.
He's the only one that looks like he has a
yeah.
fighting chance. The other two, they wouldn't even hook up with each other.
Yeah.
Like it's just they're like, no, you're gross.
He's dating Grimes, and he dated Amber Heard.
Amber Heard, yeah, that's a crazy chick that Depp was with for a while.
Well, she's nuts.
Yeah.
So does Elon is he like a closet druggie?
I mean, he's a closet.
He's probably having fun.
He's probably a closet or out of the closet poonhound that is happy to be with these crazy hot chicks.
Oh, he's got a 1-year-old baby with the musician Grimes.
Yeah, just say her name.
Grimes.
No, the baby's name.
Oh, I haven't gotten that far yet.
Oh, look it up and
isn't
pronounce
that
it for
the
me.
X
I want to hear
one?
him pronounce it. I think he can do it.
Let's see here.
Just look up
Give me a
Elon
second.
Musk's baby name and go ahead and pronounce that for me. And then I would love for you to, because I'm dying to know if the other, I think Bezos' rocket was far more phallic than the other ones, because all rockets inherently are shafts.
Yeah.
But to put the
The
mushroom,
mushroom tip, yeah,
that was
that's
the next level. You gotta respect that.
I know you're wondering, like, did the designer and we need this special nose cone on the end because for aerodynamics, what's his? I was explaining that one away.
Yeah. You want to pierce through the atmosphere?
Yeah.
You know what you need? Mushroom tip. That'll work.
Oh.
Yeah, how do you pronounce that, Stu?
XAE-A12.
Yeah.
Stu's
The article says here's how to pronounce it, and it may be actually illegal in California to name the baby this.
You got to wonder, too, like,
Zao 12? Zeo 12?
some municipal bus driver will end up naming their kid that. Like, there will be other ones.
Yeah, they have to.
Yeah.
But do you go with 12 or do you make yours like 11?
Yeah.
First, bitch.
Yeah.
11.
Or 13. Like,
I would do that same thing and then 1. That way it's like,
yeah.
Gotcha. First.
Plus 1.
Yeah, first. First of the party.
It says the X stands for the unknown variable, and
Yep, there we go.
AEAI is shorthand for artificial intelligence and also translates the word love.
Unknown love. There we go.
Artificial intelligence would like us to believe that it's pronounced love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well
This is a
played,
good thing.
AI.
That kid won't get picked on in school.
Yeah.
Probably not. That's going to be homeschooled
Yeah.
Yeah.
by a rock star and a crazy man.
Yeah.
It's going to go well for AIX12. You still trying to figure that out, Stu?
I can't pronounce it. You gotta give it to me.
Oh, nobody knows.
No,
Nobody
yeah.
knows. No, that was the whole
I
joke.
thought you had the answer.
No, you could ask Elon. He wouldn't know.
Yep.
They got to call it something, though, right?
Yeah.
It's a boy, right?
Yeah.
Is it a boy?
I thought it was a girl.
Shit.
Don't be putting that
Oh,
on
yeah,
that
we
kid.
should. That's right.
Yeah.
We shouldn't. We
That
shouldn't
kid has not
assume.
told us yet.
With a name like that, you don't really know.
Yeah. I mean, is that La or L?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I guess the nursery's yellow or green or something. No pinks and blues.
It's just smoke. It's
Yeah.
just smoke on the walls. Which clings really tightly.
It's just all reflective surfaces in there.
yeah. And it's like the old Mork and Mindy
Yeah.
egg. And just lives in there.
Damn, he's worth $163 billion.
Is that it?
The kid?
No, Elon. Just looking at all this shit. Good grief.
Have you looked up the rockets yet?
Yeah, he's pretty rich.
I'd like to
Guess
see
you
the
know.
3 rockets next to each other. Because I haven't seen Branson's rocket.
Branson, it's a plane.
He just went up in a plane?
He went up in a 12-passenger.
One of those
It dropped from a transport plane, then took off, and it rotated upside down. The wings folded back, and he's floating upside down, so you can see the Earth. He's up there for a while, and it just transitions to a glider.
So
Came
I'm
on back down.
not impressed by any of these guys. I mean, didn't John Glenn do this in the 60s?
Yeah, I mean,
Was I supposed to be impressed?
Either go up to the moon or go into actual outer space or don't.
Yeah, they said Bezos went higher. He actually got suborbital.
Of course he did.
They didn't say Branson actually went into space. He just went to where it's so light, there's no gravity, and he's floating around.
Yeah, see? Takes that mushroom tip to get a little bit higher.
That's right.
A little bit higher.
Gives it that little extra.
That's right.
You know, his rocket was probably longer too. Like,
oh, definitely.
Yeah. How tall is his rocket? Let's make ours just about a mushroom tip longer.
What's the girth on that?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, he had an 18, an 82-year-old, and his brother with them.
Yeah,
and
the 82-year-old was a pilot.
It was a lady, I think.
Yeah, lady pilot.
She was, at the time, she was an awesome test pilot, but she wasn't qualified to be an astronaut
because she was a woman.
Oh, that's messed
so
up.
He got So he got some woke points on that.
Good on him.
Yeah.
He put her in a penis. He couldn't even let her have, you know what I mean? Just like let her have her win. Like he's like, I'm going to do something for women.
Would you have gotten on any of those? I would not have. Honestly, wouldn't have.
Well, let's see. Bezos did 15 test flights unmanned before they put him up in space.
And they all worked?
Yeah.
I still wouldn't have gotten on it.
Some of them didn't land.
Yeah.
So they weren't worried about the capsule. The whole thing they were trying to do, which it worked, was the rocket goes up, the capsule detaches.
The shaft. Call it the shaft. Don't make it weird.
The shaft takes off and lands by itself again. It doesn't like crash a parachute.
Yeah, it detaches from the...
And comes back down and just parks itself.
That's right.
And he did...
So what goes into space? Just the tip?
Just the tip.
None of it went into space.
Suborbital, whatever that means. Subspace.
That's weak.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Branson was in like a private Learjet that was maybe not even maybe a 6 foot tall space to be around in, like a Learjet, whereas Bezos' tip was as tall as the pallet house. It was probably like you could stand around, have bigger windows all around. But he did land by 3 parachutes. It wasn't anything special.
Damn right.
I wouldn't have gotten on that damn thing.
I'd be a bit nervous.
Well, the 18-year-old, you hear about how he got on there? His dad won an auction to get on there, and then his dad was like, "Well, damn, I already have plans that day."
What plans? You're in a cornhole tournament and you just
I can't.
Or even if you get a massive business deal, you can't push it a day forward or back.
You know what the most valid excuse ever is? Hey, dude, I'm going to space.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll just do this Tuesday. Fair enough.
Yeah. So he let his son go in his place.
He tagged in his kid.
But would you?
What was it? $22 million was a ticket?
Yeah, something like that. It's kind of a dick move. What if shit had gone south? You got to tell your wife that.
Yeah. So good.
What happened
news,
to Junior?
Bad news.
Yeah. Good news is I wasn't on that flight.
Yeah.
Bad news was
I backed out of the flight last minute.
Yeah.
Bad news. Timmy's dead.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, you're gonna be sleeping on the couch for a minute, dude.
For quite a while.
Yeah.
Quite a while. Yeah, that might not be forgiven.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. I didn't realize that. So let's see.
I'm hesitant to let my kids ride long distances in the car with the grandparents. And this dude's like, "Yeah, dude, go to space on some flight that's never been before. Go right ahead."
How old is the pilot? 85. Don't worry, it's not at night.
Yeah.
We'll go up during the day. She doesn't like to fly at night.
Yeah. Her glaucoma's pretty bad, so she got to be home before sunset.
Don't worry, we got her super high. Her eyes don't bother her right now.
Yeah.
Okay, it's medicinal.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, no, it says the 18-year-old, let's see, he holds a private pilot license. He's a space enthusiast. The Dutch teen took the place of an anonymous winner for a public $28 million auction, who the winner said had to pass because of scheduling conflicts and will go on a later trip.
That is such nonsense.
So the guy's got money. He can just let that
You paid $22 million and then you didn't even get to do the thing.
Unbelievable.
You'd be pissed if you paid $200 playing a golf tournament you couldn't go to.
Yeah. And the flight was 10 minutes. 11 minutes, you said?
11 minutes in. Well,
what was so pressing he couldn't spare 11 minutes?
5 minutes in space, and the other time was getting up and down.
Yep, that sounds about right.
This dude couldn't clear 11 minutes.
Yep.
That's crazy.
A little bit of time to get going, 5 minutes of actual space time, and then a few minutes to cool down.
Hey, guys, I'm going to be 15 minutes late to that call.
Yeah.
Still got 4 minutes to take a leak.
Exactly.
Fix your hair.
Your cell phone still works.
Yeah, you're not even in true orbit.
Yeah.
They'd have to hook up to Elon's Skylink, though, and that's...
I did hear a
It'd
cool...
be funny to Google Meet from that plane.
Talking about the guy. Yeah, Google Meet. Oh, your Zoom meeting's messing up a little bit.
Kind of breaking up.
I'm in space, bro.
That's the atmosphere. No, but I did read a cool little article about how Richard Branson got Virgin and Atlantic started. Did you? He had booked a flight for him and I think his girlfriend or wife at the time to go to the Caribbean.
Okay.
And it got canceled, and he was like so pissed. You know, the flight got canceled. He couldn't go, so he said, "I'm not going to wait for anything around." He actually, now granted, he had the money, but he chartered a plane. Well, no, he didn't have all the money. He chartered a plane and touched base with all the passengers that were supposed to go on his trip that same day and said, "Hey, I'll charge you this for the seats." So he rented a plane and then rented out the seats, and that's where he got the idea. And then he started going.
He
from
started
there.
Virgin Atlantic.
That's not what y'all don't do that when you miss a flight?
Just charter something.
Dude, I can't even get an Uber right now.
Yeah, that is.
Well, that's a whole nother.
Well, if it does happen, I'll see. Because, like I said, tomorrow I'm going to San Juan for 5 days, and if a plane cancels, I'll see if I can charter one.
Well, isn't
but I
there
don't
a
know.
whole nother business out there now, basically, that kind of does that, where you can kind of rent? I mean, you've flown on them, Brendan, where you buy one seat on a private jet that's flying around.
Well, I used to fly on one jet, which their whole thing was, it was a 7-passenger plane, and they would fly between mid-markets.
Yeah.
So this would be, Louisville to Richmond.
Yeah.
Like 2 markets that don't have a direct flight. And so I would fly it to Pittsburgh, because Pittsburgh's like a 6-hour drive. It's a 40-minute flight.
Yeah.
If you fly direct. And those little jets were fantastic, and their whole shtick was, a ticket will be $250, and we'll get you direct flight for these mid-markets.
Each way or round trip?
Well, the most it would be is $250 one way.
Uh-huh.
That was the most. Most of the time when I did it was like $150. It was like $300 round trip.
That's awesome.
And it would just fly you in a 7-person. But it ended up going belly up. It didn't make it.
COVID probably killed it.
It went out before COVID.
Really?
Yeah, they just sucked. Like this guy DeLorean was running it. Just
Yeah.
Fell apart.
Yeah, it was just a mess. But unfortunately, it didn't work. But the model was great. They're like, look, if we can get 3 people on, it's profitable. And we can do up to 7. And there were times like I would literally walk up. There was one day I walked up and I was early, like all my meetings had ended. So I was like, I'll just go to the airport. And I got up there and they were like, hey, you're the last guy that's booked on this flight. And it was like an hour before we were supposed to take off, but everyone got into the airport early.
Yeah.
They're like, you guys want to go now? I landed before I was supposed to take off.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
I was like, hell yeah. It was a pretty sweet setup.
I was getting ready to close this page on Bezos, but there was an article that says 75,000 people signed a petition for Jeff Bezos not to return and to leave Earth forever.
Allow me to
Wow.
be the first one to say, come back. I'm an Amazon junkie.
Hell yeah.
Like,
We buy so much crap on Amazon.
hell yeah. Like, I am not anti-Bezos. Like, I think the guy's a schmuck, but it's like, it's the same way I can separate, like, my sports heroes from the human.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, if you're a douche, okay, you're a douche, but, like, I need you to hit that home run.
Yeah.
Score that touchdown. Or, like, I like Tom Cruise movies. I'm totally aware of the fact that he's nuts.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine. You can be nuts. You can be a total psycho. Like, I don't like if somebody's like a murderer, like a woman beater, then I'm like, okay, you've crossed the line.
Yeah.
But if you're just a nut,
Yeah.
but you hold it together, like Gary Busey, fine to see him in a movie, but like I don't want him in my house.
I kind of like the nutty attitude he's got.
He's got dude, that dude is the personification of cocaine.
He's got He's got that figured out.
Years.
He does. And it's hard to I can do that. I can separate that.
Yeah.
Like when Tiger Woods got busted for all that stuff, I was like, well, what do I care?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's an adulterer. Like,
Yeah.
I'll okay.
Yeah, kids, don't aspire to be this, but watch his golf swing.
It was like, remember Charles Barkley back in the day when he was like, I'm not a role model.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, good call. But make that shot, you jackass. I got $20 on this.
I mean, everyone has heard tales, and it can't be the same thanks to social media, but you've heard tales of the sports guys in the 70s and 80s, like having girlfriends in every city and all that stuff. Like,
oh, yeah, doing lines in the dugout.
Oh yeah,
after Daryl Strawberry
eating pills all day. Like,
did you ever see? There was one. There's this one match. Diego Maradona was in, the soccer player.
yeah.
And like he hit this shot to win the game, and he's running off, and his handler comes out and literally pulls out a little Coke, dumps it on his hand, gives it to him. He takes a bump on the pitch.
Wow.
Now, I can't think of a more scumbag move to do, but I'm like, nice shot. Nice shot.
Is that how he gets down the pitch so fast?
Yeah, but that's why. Look, it killed him eventually. Like those demons killed him. Yeah, I mean, clearly. But he was such a mess.
Well, that's why I've never cared about the steroid thing in baseball. It's like I want to see the guys playing the best. Like, to me, I don't care because I'm not competing against them. Like,
no, and you know what I'd like my team to do? More steroids than that team.
yeah.
Screw this.
Well, you're a huge steroids fan.
I mean, I'm a Sammy Sosa guy.
Well, I was going to say you're a Tour de France fan. So,
dude,
I mean, you've got to love all the doping.
Do you want the steroid lineup? I got it right here.
There's the all-time steroid lineup. Is this
position,
by sport?
By position for baseball.
For baseball?
Yeah.
Am I getting Sammy Sosa in the outfield? Because
Well,
if I'm not,
see.
I'm not even paying attention.
Yeah, you're getting somebody. You get Brett. Let's see here. Mark McGuire, first base.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Brett Boone, second base. Miguel Tejada for shortstop. Alex Rodriguez, third base. Sammy Sosa, right field.
Alex Rodriguez did not do enough steroids to make my all-steroid
Barry
team.
Bonds has got to be on the outfield.
Let's see. Sammy Sosa's right. Bonds center. Manny Ramirez, left field. Starting pitcher is Roger Clemens.
Yeah,
and
Clemens.
then Ivan Rodriguez is the catcher. Relief pitcher Eric Gagne. And the designated hitter David Ortiz.
There you go.
Jose Canseco doesn't even make the list.
He's
crazy.
on the bench. They got some bench
he's
players
be a
here.
bench player.
Rafael Palmeiro.
He is not a bench
Brady
player.
Anderson.
I don't want to hear this nonsense. If Jose Canseco's not on my all-steroid team, who else is going to be pushing all the steroids?
Yeah. How is everybody going to get them?
Like he's my dealer.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's it. He's just the dealer.
Just the dealer. He's the connection. He's in the dugout.
That's fine.
You got him on payroll as a bench player,
He's
but
the
he's
the
dealer.
bat boy.
You know what? He's my strength and conditioning guy.
That's
Yeah,
right.
there you go.
That's what I want. I want Jose Canseco as my strength and
/
conditioning
pharmacist.
Nutritionist. Yeah.
Yeah.
guy. Absolutely.
Eat this. Don't eat that.
Let him hit it. I mean, who cares?
Did y'all see the little blurb about Tenacupo, the guy that won last night for Milwaukee Bucks, the star that won the NBA championship?
Giannis.
Yeah, I couldn't forget his first name.
How could you?
They showed
I
him.
don't think you had his last name right
I like
either.
that he
Tenacupo?
made an attempt at the
Yeah,
last
yeah,
name
yeah.
and just skipped over Giannis.
Giannis at Tenacupo.
The only hard part about that's the silent G.
Yeah.
They had a funny little clip of him. Obviously, it's been 50 years since the Bucks have won, and he scored 50 points last night. And they showed him going through Chick-fil-A, and he tells the lady, they got a video of him, he says, I want 50, not 49, not 51. I want 50 chicken nuggets and a lemonade and half Sprite, please. He's like, okay.
He made a Giannis.
Yeah.
So if an Arnold Palmer is iced tea and lemonade,
Yeah.
This is Sprite
a
and
Sprite
lemonade.
and lemonade
Half
is
and
a
half.
Giannis.
Did you see? I saw a picture of him in his rookie year.
Oh, it's
And
2013, and now
he's
he's like one. Well,
He's
there's
like-
an all-steroid team made.
he's like a few inches taller and like
That's
40,
what's weird, is how
40,
much-
50 pounds more
I think
muscle.
because he was like 190 to 230,
Yeah.
240
yeah, something like that.
in 7 years,
I love
and
it.
he's
built like a brick shit house.
4 or 5 inches.
So you were talking about the Tour de France. You know, it just ended.
Yeah, who won? What cheater won?
I don't know his name,
This
but
Podcar. That's how you say it.
Okay.
but
Where's-
isn't he,
what-
I didn't know who it was, but isn't he back to back?
I don't know if he was back to back.
I heard something about it. Either it's two-time, either he's a two-time winner or it was a back to back. I can't remember.
I mean, Podcar won a lot of different stuff this year. He won like Young
What
Rider.
what country was he from?
I don't know where he's from.
Thought
I
you
was-
watched all this crap.
I did, but I wasn't rooting for him.
Yeah.
He just kept running away with it. Like after a while, you have to just be like, "All right, this dude's a stud.
Yeah.
Like, he's doing it." But all my guys were just getting
Oh,
beat up.
Podcar wins Tour de France for a second year in a row.
There you go.
Where's he from?
Tour de France, Podcar 22.
Nailed it.
Yeah, you're.
Think that'd
you
be
got me.
pretty front and center.
Yeah, I mean, look, he was a stud though. I mean, he ran away with it, and he was killing it in the mountains. I mean, you can't beat those guys that can fly up a mountain.
It's so boring.
It's beautiful to watch. I mean, I've subjected you to it for 4 weeks now. You had to sit out here and watch it. Now you don't get to watch the Tour de France. But those were the best dopers.
They were.
Because those dudes managed not to get bulky. They figured out blood doping. They figured out the right amount of steroids. Yeah, like
so how they do it now? Are we really supposed to believe none of them are doing anything?
I do not believe they're all clean. No.
Yeah.
I just believe they figured out something new. But I mean, how difficult was it to figure out blood doping? They they had to do blood tests to find out, hey, this dude has way too much oxygen in his blood. Like that wasn't anything that like they're testing for all these foreign substances. The blood just had more oxygen in it. They're like, what's that about? You pull your blood out, you spin that shit in a centrifuge, and then you just take like the platelets or whatever, put that back in, and like now you can take twice as much oxygen through your blood. You don't get tired.
Yeah, and they sleep in those tents that like
that stuff's
breathe
legal.
in pure oxygen and
that stuff's legal.
Yeah, that's true.
It should all be legal.
That's what I'm saying. If you're willing to put your body through it, one time. I mean, look at these guys. I mean, you know what? Lance Armstrong gets cancer from it. That comes from that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you look at like Lyle Alzado. You look at all these guys who were doing steroids early on in the 70s.
Yep, they're paying for it.
They all died.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, but if you're willing to sacrifice everything for the game, sign that man to a multi-year contract.
Well, and I've always been on the like pro steroids side because if you do those drugs, if you do any performance enhancing drugs,
you pay for it.
You pay for it, and you still work. It's not like you take the drug and you sit back in the recliner and watch the latest episode of.
That's the truth. If you dope me up on steroids and give me a whole year to hit a major league fastball, I'll never do it.
Yeah,
I won't do it because I can't hit the. You already had to be a stud. Now you just make yourself, stronger.
But those guys work harder. Once they start running all that shit to them, they're like, it helps them recover, and they
more
can
importantly,
actually work
that's
harder.
it. It's the recovery.
Like recovery hormones versus enhancement.
That's all I want. More recovery.
Yeah, because once you hit 40, you can't recover from anything.
Dude, I literally I've done this a couple times where I've just moved my left arm. I currently have a spasm running from my bicep into my forearm that's like makes my arm seize up because I'm just
you got to stop that stuff.
Moving my arm
rapidly for.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So I keep having to extend my arm throughout the whole show just because I'm getting like spasms for no reason.
No good.
I got up off the couch the other day and my younger son was like, "Ha, I knew it." I was like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "I saw you getting ready to get up and I knew you were going to make a sound." And I said, "Oh, you did, huh?" He goes, "You make a sound every time you sit down and every time you get up."
What sound do you make?
I don't know, probably something like,
Yeah, because it's effort.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I could go from my back onto my feet, do the old Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
I make the comfort, relaxing sound when I sit down. I'm like, Now, getting up, I don't know.
I've also noticed now that when I stand up, my first 2-3 steps aren't like
they're like ginger.
They're not like a pimp gait. I used to have like a pimp swagger to my walk.
Yeah.
And now those first few are like, I do like a Frankenstein, don't. And then all of a sudden my knees start moving. I hit a stride. It's horrible.
Well, it's funny. The other day, one of our older fraternity, some of the older guys in the fraternity, we all caught up at Kindred Spirit the other day. And Terrence was out there. And of the 7 of us, we started talking about our kids. And, we catching up. We hadn't seen each other in a long time.
Kids,
whatever. Yeah. And we started showing pictures. Well, 3 of the guys, as soon as you break out the pictures, the readers come on.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, oh, really? Damn, we're getting that age?
That's one thing I've noticed because I'm staring at a computer screen all the time. My eyes have gotten worse. Like, it accelerates it, staring at the screen all the time.
That's not good.
Like, all the kids who are coming up now are probably going to be in glasses or have LASIK by, like, 25 because staring at that screen messes you up. It's not great. If I'm out here in the real world, I don't get tired. I look at my phone for 3 minutes without glasses. I'm like, I can't see.
Well, do you have multiple monitors?
3 of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you're not. That's not working your eyes. Like when you're in the real world, you're focusing near, far. Every time you glance around.
Yeah.
When you're sitting in front of a monitor 18 inches from your face all day, your
you
eyes
focus.
aren't. They're not working.
So you need your laptop 18 inches. You need one monitor 3 feet away, and then a flat screen over to the left. Just
what I need is to become a fisherman.
Yeah,
that would be great.
Quit all this crap.
Sounds like a good plan.
You know what I'm fishing for right now?
What?
A deli.
A deli? Is it deli
Oh
time?
man, we killed it.
We're
Nice.
45 minutes into this thing.
Holy cow!
Considering we're doing a double, we gotta stay on
That's
course.
right.
Rockstar.
Gotta stay on pace here. So we gotta get to this deli.
We got 2 delis today from listener Billy.
We haven't even
Nice.
hit a topic. The
Well,
hell did we just talk about?
You're producing. You're
We've been
producing.
talking
us.
about topics.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
understand
not the
that.
topics you've written down. So check this can out because this is an interesting can.
Okay, we are dealing with a dry hopped sour beer. Notice I didn't say the brewery's name because I don't see it. State of Brewing? Would that be the name of it? Brewed
That's
and
who
canned
makes it.
in Waunakee, Wisconsin.
But there's no name on here.
It's State of Brewing Company,
Oh,
I
but
guess.
you did say, where did you get these from?
So Billy got these. He said these are from Aldi.
So
These are Aldi beers?
Yes.
yeah, because everything in there is generic or like non-name brand. It's like kind of like a Costco.
So this is like a $3 six-pack?
So it was $6. He told me $5.99 for the 4-pack,
That's awesome.
and they're 16-ounce beers. And I won't give you his review till afterwards.
I don't want his review yet.
But
A dry hopped sour, so it shouldn't be too hoppy, but it should have the hop.
it's got a cool looking can on it, for sure. It's a 5.2. Now, whether or not this is in all Aldis across the land, I cannot speak on that.
Well, it's from Wisconsin, so odds are.
Yeah.
Huh. That's,
Can you find anything on there?
I mean, even I'm looking at Untapped. I'm looking at a couple different places. I typed in,
Well, shout out
typed
to
in a dry
Billy.
hop, but
Billy, thanks for picking up a couple delis for us this week. Actually saved our butts because you got this episode and next episode, and I hadn't gone anywhere.
I was over his house earlier, and he's got a beer fridge out in his garage. And he opened that thing up, and he's in like a beer club, and it is stocked top to bottom, the door, everything, and just microbrew beer. I was like, holy shit, dude. I was like, you must have thousands of dollars of beer in this thing.
The hell is that? Raspberries?
I have no idea.
Raspberries?
Yeah. There's no real...
there's nothing.
What's on the can? It looks like there's an orange or something there, and the hops.
There's a hop.
I don't know. It's a color.
Isn't that an orange-looking thing right there that's been cut in half?
Yeah, or a kidney.
Yeah. Or a passion fruit.
Yeah, the interesting nose on
Tastes
it.
like dialysis. Yeah, I taste raspberry.
Yeah, it might be raspberry.
Like that's all. What color is that can?
To me, it looks black with electric green in this part,
I saw that.
and everything else is white.
Just wondering if that was like red, like a raspberry.
No, it's dark.
Oh no, it's
it's green.
It's forest green.
It's forest
with the
green.
yellow.
I like that you guys didn't know what color it was either.
Well, in this light,
Yeah, the lighting in here sucks.
the bar is so.
It's daylight.
Yeah, but the bar lights are dim. Yeah, but once Stu put the
Not going to take this
iPhone light.
abuse.
Yeah.
It still looks like red or black to me, but that's
see
cool.
here.
It's dark green.
Okay.
Dry hop sour from Aldi.
Did you just put some aromas in the air there, Troy?
I think the beer's a little skunky.
Here we
Is
go.
that what that is?
I
Because
think so.
I'm having a real hard time deciphering the scent on this beer on account of something wafting over the bar. I'll leave.
No, I don't think
is
it's
your
the.
nose-
I don't think it's the beer.
Is your sniffer broken like your eyes?
Nope.
No?
Nope. Either this beer just farted or you just screwed up this whole deli for me for a minute. Like that's a chewable fart. That is not good, man. I'm not happy. And the door's open, the fans are on, and it's still just all of a sudden like the back of my mouth was like watering. I was like, wait a minute. What's that about?
Makes your mouth water? You like it that much?
It's yeah. Yeah, I
Oh,
do.
so it's State of Brewing. That's the.
Nailed it.
Is that already on there?
Yeah, we've discussed that.
Oh, that's right. It's on the small print. Never mind. They put out a couple different beers.
I
actually.
found it. I have found it.
You know what I think this is? State of Brewing.
It could be.
Is that citrus?
Stu's over there. He's like, oh, my God. Guys, you got to see this rocket.
It looks
Jeff
like
Bezos' rocket looks like a penis.
It's a wiener.
Have you seen this?
It's a big. It's like that Austin Powers.
Yeah. Did you see that meme where they put everything Jeff Bezos and Austin
did.
side by side?
Yeah, Dr. Evil.
Yeah. That was pretty
I don't know
good.
what to make of this beer, man. I'm back and forth. A couple different directions.
I can't pick the flavor though.
Just stick with me on raspberry. We'll just run with it. No one's going to ever tell us we're wrong. It's not right.
Being that you can't find anything on it.
Yeah, like you can't find anything,
No.
so there's no proof that there's anything in it. So we'll say, sour derived from raspberries.
Raspberries?
Yes.
What's a blue raspberry?
A lie.
Let's see here.
That screams artificial whenever you see blue raspberry something.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, whenever
Yeah,
I see that,
it
I'm like,
tastes
I don't want it.
Just sicky sweet is what it
Yeah,
tastes like.
I don't even want it. Like you're not fooling me.
But
this
does
beer,
I was going to say, does this beer taste sour to you?
a little bit.
It's kind of sweet to me. I mean, I get the initial sour punch, but I feel like its finish is like sweet.
This beer, typically when we do these delis, you have a sip and then you have to start getting used to it,
Yeah.
and then you start working towards enjoying it. This beer's going the opposite way on that hill for me.
Yeah, the more you drink, the less you like it.
Is where I'm headed. And I started with very high scores, so I'm not burying the...
I'm giving it the same old it's not getting better, it's not getting worse, it's the same every time.
It says dry hop, but it doesn't taste like it's dry. It doesn't finish very dry for me.
Yeah, Stu, have you had enough to formulate an opinion here, Stu, or do you want someone else to go first?
No, go first. Go ahead. I'm
All right, Troy, you want me to go?
I'll go.
All right,
was
Troy's
spending-
going to start it off.
I was spending too much time finding out that it was State of Brewing.
I feel
understand.
I feel like you're gonna have a bomb to drop, so I feel like I'll go first. I like this beer. It's very understated. The sour's not over the top. The dry hops is not over the top, so it's pretty good. I don't know if I drink a lot of these. I feel like whatever the flavoring is in it, it's a little sicky sweet to me. Like I feel like my stomach would start to churn if I had 2 full 16 ounces of these. But I like the taste, like the look of the beer. I like the price point, so it's definitely above average. So I'm going to give it a 3. I wouldn't go over the top. Maybe 3.5, but I'm gonna stick with 3. I wouldn't go. It's not so high that I would like force somebody that you gotta have this.
I will never. Yeah, you'll never be like, you got to get to Aldi and pick this up.
Well, so I do like the can. I like the green
cool can.
dark color. The I don't know, the whole print is cool. The coloring works. I would say, based on the fact that I can't pick out what fruit flavor this is, it's very interesting. But I would say, if you like a sour beer that's not too sour, and from what I can see, Aldi's selling this 4-pack of 16-ounce cans for $6.99. That's not a bad price point.
$5.99.
$5.99?
Yeah. No, it's a great price point for a microbrew.
Yeah. So
For sure.
and I'm not getting a whole lot of hop, so I kind of like it, but I'm not going over the top, and I'm just going to stick right with the 3 because I can't go bad or good on this. It's kind of like very just middle of the road.
It's above average, but not for me. Not much above average.
This is 16 ounces of lies.
And there's your cover page.
That's why I wanted him to go last.
I'm getting angrier as I drink it. Let's start with dry hopped. Lie. Do you smell hops? Dry hops should be
Yeah.
all about the aroma.
Yeah.
No.
Not a single bit of dry hop to it. Lie. Is it sour?
Not really.
Not really.
No.
Lies. This should be called raspberry sweet beer. And then I'd go, ooh, truth. This is a bunch of lies, and it's making me angry.
So would this be the Truly of beers because there's no real fruit juice in any Truly? It's all made up?
This is truly a lie. On top of everything, that raspberry flavor that I'm picking up on, it's starting to turn like more medicine-y with every single sip.
More artificial.
Which is the fake.
So it's a lie. The raspberry's a lie. The dry hop's a lie. The sour's a lie. The price point's the truth.
Yeah.
There we go. I found a truth in there. It is just not for me. And what's funny is usually when I have a sour, I have to drink a sip. I have to get my whole body adjusted. Like all those juices start flowing. And then I start working through it. And it's like I took that first sip and there was no shock.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was like, it wasn't very sour. Then Troy farted, and it managed to cleanse my palate in a way that allowed me to taste the flavors for the truth that they were.
You're welcome.
So Troy, in this instance, thank you for farting mid-deli because everything changed after that. Now, maybe you COVID farted my mouth and like I lost all my flavors. I don't know what happened there, but the dry hop's not there. The sour's not there. the sicky sweet is more of a cough medicine style. Like it's a fake flavor. I'm not digging it.
That's one thing I do dig on this is the can doesn't feed you a bunch of the bullshit that all these breweries usually talk about.
I'll give
their
it
beer.
that. Like it's not there's, but it only had 3 words, and those 3 words were a lie.
Yeah.
Well, you know what though? That's a lot like. I didn't say all of Aldi's a lie, but that's what they're doing. It's all generic. You don't really know if it's it's good. It's not quite the same thing. You get a little cheaper price point.
I like a lot of their brand.
But a lot of their stuff's good. Yeah. Some of the best chips I've ever had come out of an Aldi. Like they have a generic potato chip brand.
McClancy or something weird like that. Yeah.
Those chips rival any chip that you can buy at any price point. They are phenomenal.
Clancy's is what we use at the brewery for the chips.
Yeah, but those are Clancy's. That's like a real chip. This is like
Aldi.
This is some. Oh, it's a Clancy chip. It's the one from Aldi.
Yeah,
dude, they're fantastic chips at a dirt cheap price. So I'm not going to go over here and badmouth Aldi because what Aldi does is give you some tasty stuff at really cheap. I respect that.
And they do the whole like.
I'll tell you something about Aldi.
You don't need 50 different mac and cheeses. You need 4 mac and cheeses.
Right.
Pick one and move on.
And which it really helps.
Yeah.
You go. I need bacon. Oh, thick or normal?
Yeah.
Okay, bacon. Guess what? The bacon was good.
Now, I could shop there if it was just me, but, like, I don't like shopping for my family, and the wife does it, so we rarely go to Lidl or Aldi because you can't really shop for a family of 4 at a place like that. Like, I don't think you can. Like,
well, it's because they have too many opinions. You go over to Europe, then they think they're used to that.
Yeah,
it's like there isn't a whole lot of opinion.
Well, my wife wants to get, like, everything when she goes to the grocery store, not just like
I want to get some Sausalito Pepperidge Farm cookies. Like I want that.
Yeah, and toilet paper and cleaning supplies, and
I want to decide if I want my paper towels to break off in 3, 2, or 1.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very important stuff.
All right, Brendan, drop the bomb.
I'm giving it a 2. I'm not a huge fan of this beer. I think if they called it something else, then I might not have been as offended.
So do you like the taste though?
I liked the taste a lot at first. That's what was so weird.
But
my first sip, no joke, I went, ooh, that's a 4. Right in my head. That was my initial. But by now, it's all the way down to 2. And I'm probably being a little aggressive. It's probably a 2.5. But I'm going to stay on my aggressive because I feel like they lied to me. And that's why it's getting a 2. Now, I'd love to know what Billy said because he had an opinion.
I think he liked it and thought we would like it. So.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I think either way, if you hate it, you're only.
He wanted to hear our opinion, so I don't think he's going to care if it's good or bad. I think most people that are nice enough to get deli stores just want to know their take.
It's just not sour enough to be a sour.
Yeah.
It's like it's on the spectrum. It's like Elon Musk.
Yeah.
With autism, like he's on the spectrum, but come on, he's not.
Do you think
really.
he's lying?
I think that he's probably a little weird, but I don't think he's really on the spectrum. I think he's, who knows?
That's how all spectrums work too. Like, how does it work? Like,
this is on the spectrum of a sour, but it's not a sour beer. So
They tried.
There's a 3,
a
3, and a 2.
Yeah,
2 and 2.75.
2.75 somewhere in there. The Abacus will figure it out.
But again, this is whether you like it or not. I think this is to Troy's point. I could only drink one.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you like it, I think it's
If I had a cough, this would be my first choice. Yeah, I'm not impressed. I'm sorry, Billy, but thank you. Yeah. And in an hour, we get to record another episode, and Billy gets to take another shot at the title. So I'm hoping that one fares better.
What's funny about Aldi, they only build Aldis, and Aldi is located within a half mile of an apartment complex. They don't build them anywhere else. So if you think about wherever you see an Aldi, there's an apartment complex within a half mile.
No, the one by our place is you can stand. The Aldi closest to here, you can see 2 apartment complexes from the parking lot.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue that that's not true, but I've never seen one not around an apartment complex.
Well, no, that's their that's what they're targeting because of the price point. They're assuming that the socioeconomics of somebody who's living in an apartment is going to enjoy a lower price.
See, I don't think it's the price point. I think it's you're living in a small space. You're probably shopping for less than a household, and I'd rather you come here daily than go do a weekly shopping.
I mean, I could have walked to my apartment when I lived in my apartment. I could walk to the Aldi.
My thing is, like, you can see Lidl from Aldi here. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, well, how many are there? There's only like a few in Richmond, like 3 or 4, I think.
Where we're standing right now is like the freaking
central
grocery store mecca of the world. Like,
it is very odd.
If you go a mile or 2 in any direction from this point, you can hit a brand of that grocery store. Like, it's
I literally
crazy.
have grocery stores I go to for certain items.
Yeah,
because I have that much option.
Yeah,
you move downtown, you go in like parts of downtown. You literally don't have a grocery store in some parts of downtown.
It's doing the same thing.
They need to. There's a lot of people down there. I don't know if people know this, but cities tend to be more populated.
One square block. There's a Publix. There's a Kroger. There's a Fresh Market. There's
you go over to Manchester. There's a nothing.
Yeah,
it's a food desert.
But you're talking about Shaka Bottom, like, and I lived down there before they even built that. It was a community pride or whatever. And now it's like a Kroger. But there used to be nothing in Shaka Bottom.
Yeah,
no.
I mean, and there's you see this in a lot of cities, but most cities I go to, you do find a grocery store, typically a Whole Foods.
Yeah,
it seems like Whole Foods has moved into those kind of urban areas and been like, we're just going to put this here and we're going to charge more because where are you going to go?
Yeah, but so downtown though, typically before
Bezos,
I would say 10, 15 years ago, if not maybe 10 years ago. Everything downtown anywhere, there was always a handful of like local central markets, like not big, but you would.
But that's usually all you need,
right? But now the grocery stores are moving in to the downtown areas.
I love a good market if they don't gouge you.
Richmond's never had any of those. Like, from what I hear, I've never lived in New York, but there's those bodegas on every corner where you can basically get all your
everywhere, and you can go. I
guess I shouldn't say Richmond has a few, but like Nick's Market on Broad Street, like you can do all your food shopping there.
You can, but the place needs to have meat and fruit and veggies,
yeah.
And then all the boxes of crap. But I mean, that's what you need to kind of.
Well, they put in that neighborhood Walmart right at VCU on Franklin.
Yep, yeah.
Or is it Franklin? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's Gray Street.
Yeah, Gray.
I mean, I think that might have closed, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
We were in Costa Rica in the middle of nowhere, out in jungles and dirt roads, and grocery stores would pop up, and they were awesome.
Oh, really?
The kind of stuff where meat's just hanging. You don't have to worry. They don't worry about the kind of stuff we worry about, where they're like changing gloves every time. It's like, oh, you want that ham hock?
Yeah.
Just hanging right there? Yeah, you can have that, and like the corn is unshucked, like everything is just everything's in its purest state. Like this was cut and dumped right there, and it's kind of awesome. Yeah, and it lasts.
Yeah,
the meat's covered in salt.
Yeah, you're in the. Why is your son crying? Oh, because that was his pet goat this morning.
Yeah. Would you like it? Because it's on sale.
Here's a hero.
Because we got to move that stuff out of here.
I just don't know how this area can support all the grocery stores around here. It's crazy.
I read a report years ago that said we were saturated to the point that they were going to have to start folding, and that was before we put in 10 more.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening? I love it.
Dude, the only thing that folded around here was U-Crops and then Martin's.
Yeah, everyone says they're loyal to U-Crops, but it folded.
Yep.
That's because the Sons didn't want to continue the business. They didn't. They were in other industries, and they decided they didn't want to.
That's some inside baseball. Everybody outside of this area is like, what the hell is a U-Crops? That was one of the weirdest things when I moved to Richmond was that y'all are some loyal people. Like, you guys had these local brands that, like, don't exist outside of a 20-mile radius that were the dominant force in these areas. Like,
well,
y'all are very loyal.
It's the same thing. Like, 20 years ago, I went up to Pennsylvania with a girlfriend, and she's like, "Oh, we're going to her parents' house for the weekend." And on the way there, she's like, "Oh, we got to stop and get an MTO." I was like, "What the fuck is an MTO?"
Ooh,
and she's
right
like, "She's like, yeah, get an MTO at Sheets." I was like, "What?" It's a gas station, and now
they're
it's
everywhere.
saturated down here. So,
well, U-Crops was doing something that now, and maybe they stole it from someone, but I've always lived in the greater Richmond area. Like, they did the whole, like, fresh food, and you could eat in there. Now, like, everyone does that. Like, Kroger does that. Publix does that. Like, they all do it. Like,
what's funny to see is when I go up to New Jersey with my girlfriend, where Wawa is, like, started.
Yeah.
Wawa's
they have some of the original Wawas, and they're just like a 7-Eleven. There's no gas.
They don't have
nothing.
gas.
It's just a little convenience store.
There's one of those in Williamsburg.
Williamsburg has one. It's really weird. It's right off of the campus.
You and I stopped there.
It was really odd.
Yeah, we were headed to Buffett, I think.
And we needed gas.
We're like, there's a Wawa, and we pulled off. We're like, what the hell?
Like, it was everything but gas.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is this? And jam-packed.
And 3 miles from the interstate.
We ate while we were there.
Of course we did. Yeah. Like, I am very disappointed. Yeah, roast beef, bacon, definitely. Cheddar. No, it toasts the whole thing.
I got to go find gas, though.
And that's something I still can't get used to every time I go to Jersey. I've only been doing it recently last year.
Your own
can't
gas?
can't pump your gas. I'm like,
you can't trust those people.
So dumb.
If I ran Jersey, I wouldn't let them pump the gas either. It's flammable.
Yeah,
they'll be drinking it.
Very dangerous.
Gas tenant's on his cell phone pumping your gas. I'm like, aren't you not supposed to do that?
Smoking a cigarette. Like, let me get a jack. Be like, bro, you're pumping gas.
Are there other states that do that?
I mean, back in the day, it was all you always had the full service and the self-serve.
Well, it was a service you would pay extra for, and
it was like 10 cents extra on the gallon.
And they check your oil. Yeah. They wipe your windows.
My grandmother, she's been dead 20 years, but she never pumped gas in her whole life, and she lived in Richmond, and she lived in the West End, and when I say West End, I'm not talking short pump, I'm talking old school Richmond West End, and there were still a couple places that she could go have her gas pumped, and she would go to those places, and it had the little bell you drove over, and ding, and the service.
Do you think there would be do you think anybody would go to a gas station if it had a full serve section?
I think people would
attendant?
now.
You do?
I do. Don't you?
Well, I think because of COVID, 100%. The question is that going to stick around enough?
Look,
that 5 years from now, it would be a sustainable business model.
We're so lazy that we get.
What's the other state, Stu? That
Oregon.
Yeah, that adds up.
We're so lazy. We are fine with having fast food delivered to us by a third party. So I guarantee someone would love to pull up to a pump at a Wawa or a Sheetz, park their car.
I have to be able to order. I have to be able to order stuff from inside.
You can do it from your phone.
But say I need a pack of smokes and a full tank of gas.
I don't see why you couldn't do that from your phone.
I would do that.
And then while your gas is pumping and they're making your sandwich, you could be on your phone conducting business or doing whatever you want to do.
That's
sitting
cool.
in that. Well, you couldn't sit in the AC. Therein lies the problem.
You can't keep your car running.
Can't keep your car running.
Which I do all the time.
You can, just not with a diesel. That's a holdover from the diesel days.
Yeah.
Yes, you're not supposed to.
Oregon, New Jersey, and Huntington.
Is that the West Coast?
Huntington, New York. The
How
city
weird is
said that they consider it a fire hazard for you to pump your own gas.
Oregon will let you do heroin in Portland,
yeah.
but not pump your own gas. They're like, you could put needles in your arm, but God forbid You try to pump your own gas.
You morons.
Yeah.
Yes. Like, what is that? Like, we trust you enough to know.
Do you need fresh needles? We got you covered. But if you even think about pumping your own gas,
Like, get out of here, you
will
crazy.
be cited.
That is really odd.
That might be a good business to start up.
We'll shoot you up while we pump you up.
No, going
That's a
back,
weird
going back
business
to the going back to
Is
the
it a
full
gym?
service, the full service gas station.
We'll work out for you while you sit in the parking lot of the
Yeah.
gym. Yeah, no,
It's like it'd be like a brew through, right? Where you could get get your cigarettes and your beer.
Okay, so years ago, the business model I wanted to really work on was I wanted to bring back milk trucks, like true, honest to goodness, the big white kind of panel van milk truck, and then the whole
Leaving the
shtick
milk
was
on the
you
doorstep.
had to wear the white,
Yeah.
the stupid hat, the white suit, like, and then the only things you have fresh eggs, and I mean fresh eggs, like right down the street.
Yeah.
Fresh eggs, fresh cheese,
Mm-hmm.
fresh meat, fresh
Meat
milk.
too.
Meat.
Well, now you're getting. I mean, you're talking 4 different SKUs on the same truck. That might be hard.
Okay, I see what you're saying, but I'm in my mind I was thinking I only have a couple farms I'm hitting.
Yeah.
So like the business model would be like you have 50 miles to get to the farm. Every morning you're picking up fresh eggs, fresh milk, fresh meat, fresh cheese.
Real
Bring
quick,
that back.
speaking of fresh milk, if you guys are out there listening, go to your food line. Richland's Dairy in Dinwiddie is falling on hard times. All it takes is just
Google it because there's TikToks about it and everything. Billy was
Richlands.
informing me
Why do
about
I
it
know
today.
them?
They're local
because they're local in Dinwiddie, but they sell in Food Line and a few other restaurants.
What do they sell?
Other,
It's just
ice
milk?
cream, milk,
ice cream and milk,
So I know them
dairy.
from the ice
Yeah,
cream
yeah.
probably.
and their
Okay.
and their milk, but they're kind of falling on hard times with COVID and a few other things, and they
Yeah,
just
except
needs
the
help.
past couple days they started a GoFundMe and they've raised like $75,000.
They
Oh,
should've
I didn't
done
know about that. Well, that's
Yeah.
good.
They should have
Just-
done that with that Northern Neck ginger ale.
Yeah,
So, are your milk trucks going to be because Chrysler tried the milk truck with the PT Cruiser?
No. This has to
Get
be
a panel
truck.
van.
But I just always thought that if you only catered to like wealthy neighborhoods, I'm talking where there's a stay-at-home parent.
your Halls
Right.
Lees.
Yeah, exactly. So like these are the neighborhoods you hit, and it's like you place your order, you can leave your milk out, like you can really get back to a very wholesome 1940s kind of American vibe.
Americana.
Yeah.
And I think that would hit.
Yeah.
And it probably falls along the line of like the old service station.
Yeah.
Ting ting.
Yeah.
You come
Yeah.
running out, you check the oil, you fill it up.
And the
But then you add-
cloth diaper service.
Yeah, that's just gross.
I've never understood that.
Yeah,
I've
that's
never
just gross,
understood-
dude.
yeah.
You've lost me there. You lost me
There's
there.
no way I would ever sign into
Yeah,
that.
like we upgraded there dramatically.
Yeah.
Now, don't tell that to the hippies because I get it.
Yeah.
The landfills are full of some messed up stuff with
Yeah,
all them
yeah.
diapers. Cloth diaper is clearly better for the hippies. But
I've never understood the cloth diaper. It's like, okay, so then I'm taking the shit diaper and I'm just throwing
Well,
it
he
in my
said
washing machine and then
Yeah.
washing it. And like, yes, even if my clothes aren't in there, my clothes follow the load of shit diapers. Like, I don't want that. Like,
it's well, what Stu's talking about back in the day, you would take them nasty ass diapers out. They'd pick them up.
Oh, yeah,
They'd
yeah,
wash them.
yeah,
They'd bring
yeah.
you back some other diaper that was on a different baby's ass last
Yeah.
night.
And you weren't using it in your wash tub. You weren't
Yeah,
cleaning
yeah,
your
yeah.
own diapers.
Yeah, you didn't clean your own dookie.
yeah, good luck finding help for that job in today's market. You can't get people to go to work now at all. So be like, you want to drive the...
Yeah, but those are crap jobs. This is cleaning shit off
this,
of the diaper.
those are crap jobs. This is the crap job.
Well, then there's the guys that you hire to come weekly to clean up the dog poop in your backyard.
Well, you know,
Duty calls.
Duty calls. Exactly.
you know, we talk about it like nostalgia is a hell of a drug, and I think people would pay for that. Like, I really do. Like, I think a premium price.
There was
Look,
a time.
we all pay premium prices on certain things we deem valuable to us, and I mean, we don't drink a lot of milk. We do eat cheese and meats. I mean,
And this
I
is
might
the
be down
good
for
stuff.
that.
You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Because this is local, made right down the way. We probably have special on honey in the spring
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
summer. You know, like little whatever I can get from the same two farms.
Yeah.
And then bring it in, and that's always the business. And so Pat and I actually really contemplated this. We had
Sounds like a Pat thing.
Oh yeah, Pat and I were sitting around drinking, talking about this for days. And we wrote up like a little business model. We were like, this would work if you, and we had narrowed it to the wealthy neighborhoods because
Yeah.
you got to have somebody stay at home. And then it was like, Pat and I were like, all right, one of us will do the run every morning.
Yeah.
And then we'll alternate that. And then each day, we're the drivers. We just need 2 trucks. Maybe we can make a run at it. And we thought about it. It never came of it. But anyway, there was
just
like,
as a FYI, you'd be surprised at some of the wealthy neighborhoods, quote unquote, like you're talking about, that both parents are working.
that's not wealthy enough, Stu.
Oh, you want to go to those neighborhoods?
Yes. I'm talking about, no, absolutely. Somebody's not working.
Well,
Somebody's
think about
bored
this.
and somebody's at home.
What about
Gotcha.
this? You buy a lot outside of one of those neighborhoods and design a retro style gas station and do the full service gas there, and then sell like retro sodas and candies and stuff like that.
Cheer wine in the bottle,
Yeah.
Coke in a bottle.
Yeah. Tell me people wouldn't like that.
I mean, it'd be cool.
People would come by that just for the
Candied
fun
cigarettes,
factor.
do the whole 9 yards.
Regular cigarettes without filters.
Yeah.
Try Lucky Strike.
Yeah. Come on down to the ballpark.
Hey, we got to sell Chesterfields.
Oh, we would absolutely have Chesterfields, but I'm a Lucky Strike guy.
Yeah.
You take me back and drop me off in the 20s, I promise you I'm only smoking Lucky Strike. Like, I can't wait to smoke some. Because you know what? It didn't cause cancer then.
9 out of 10 doctors recommend Chesterfields.
Yeah, it wasn't until the 70s that it really started causing cancer.
Yeah.
Back in the day, people just
They started
died.
messing with them.
I'm just dying. From
Oh,
what?
man.
Lack of whiskey.
Old age.
Yeah, you are 45.
You're 52, Bob.
I know.
Led a full life.
I beat the odds.
Yeah.
Give me a Chesterfield and a whiskey.
No, I think any of those are good ideas in today's world. You know, Chick-fil-A is now delivering. And when I say Chick-fil-A is delivering,
No, they had 3 cars. I went there
Chick-fil-A
today.
has cars and they deliver. And my wife goes to Chick-fil-A all the time, and she has the app. So we're sitting around the pool last night. And we usually order from this Italian joint down the street, and they'll deliver to the pool. And she says, Chick-fil-A's delivering. And on my app, I scored enough points, I get a free delivery. So we ordered Chick-fil-A, and the Chick-fil-A dude in the Chick-fil-A outfit showed up in his Chick-fil-A car and dropped off the
Did
Chick-fil-A.
he my pleasure you?
Yeah.
You're damn
Nice.
right.
Could he do it any other way?
I would have been disappointed had he not.
I mean, most of those places should do that because all of the most of the food delivery places, Grubhub, whatever, they take 30% from the
I'm proud to say I've
franchise-
never paid any of those third-party assholes
DoorDash.
a dollar.
I'm
and
proud
I never
to say
will.
I've paid everyone.
Yeah, you have.
Everyone. I
But
am the opposite of you.
How
on
genius
that.
is that? Like, I've never understood. Pizza and Chinese have always delivered, and you have to spend like $20. Well, a family of 4 spends over $20 every time they order anywhere. So why doesn't everyone do delivery? And I swear this means the end of going into a Chick-fil-A. Like, you're never going to go into a Chick-fil-A again.
I
I
don't
always
think
hated going into them anyway.
But they're
That's-
gross. They
but
were
that's
gross
the point
before
of-
the
and
pandemic.
packed. They were packed.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the kids would go in there and play in
People
the
were
ball
cleaning
pit.
them and stuff, but like it was
I don't
packed.
care. I don't care. So it was like flu season year round.
Yeah.
Right, but the whole premise of fast food is to get something quick to eat, but do you necessarily want to eat in your car?
Yes.
Oh, I eat in my car all the time.
I've eaten 3 of my last 4 meals in my car. I'm a nightmare.
Yeah.
But I've been on the road. We'll talk about that next episode. I've
Yeah.
been on the road.
I was just saying with like in my old job, driving all those miles, I just didn't want to stay in my car much longer.
I get it. Speaking of staying in your car, everyone who's on a road trip listening to this, hope it's over.
Did you get there?
Hope you got there. Because we're shutting it down a little early this week because we got to do a double before Stu has to board a plane in like 5 hours.
I want to talk about flying because I haven't flown since COVID, and I keep hearing these horror stories about like people freaking out and having like I've been lucky. I've never diverted, never been diverted, never had turnaround. But I feel like that's happening more and more. Like
Yeah, well, I'm flying Allegiant in a couple weeks. What could go wrong?
yeah.
Well, they said not to travel during pandemic, and I did the exact opposite.
I'm not talking about
Yeah.
the sickness. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the crazies out there. So we can talk about that next episode.
Bring it on.
Absolutely. If you guys haven't had a chance to head on over to Nectar Sunglasses and drop Bowflex in the coupon code, you'll get 20% off. I know this because I lost my high-end pair of Nectars.
Already?
What?
Dude,
Oh,
I haven't
man.
lost a pair of Nectars
Until you bought the nice ones.
because of how cheap they are.
Yep.
You cannot lose a cheap pair of sunglasses.
Nope.
I should say inexpensive, not cheap. you can't lose an inexpensive pair of sunglasses.
You can throw them off the boat in the middle of the Atlantic.
They will float
come right back to you. Yeah.
I bought the high-end Nectars. I had them for 2 weeks?
Yeah.
I took them into a skate shop this past weekend, took them off, put them on the counter, looked at some skate wheels, shopped around, got the ones I wanted, checked out, bolted, got home, was like, where did I put those
Did
sweet
you call the
ass
shop?
Nectars? I did the next day. They said, I don't.
No.
We haven't seen any.
Weird.
One guy in the back was like, I heard this guy. He was like, I think Bob had some sunglasses from the other day. We should check with him. And the lady came back. She was like, we haven't found any, but there was one worker that was working the other day that we haven't talked to, so we'll check with him. Of course, I didn't get a call back. I also knew they're gone.
Yeah.
Every single kid in the skate shop, in true skate shop fashion, there was not somebody over 16 years old in there.
Of course.
Dude,
Everyone
kids-
was between 13 and
Kids
16.
are the worst.
Yeah, everyone was between 13 and 16 working the skate shop, which I get. It's a young man's game.
Yeah.
That's why I was in there. Young
Yeah,
man.
you fit right
World-class
in.
athlete.
Yeah.
Youthful. I belong in there.
Vibrant.
Yes, very vibrant.
Yeah.
Oh, just got up. And so, I picked up some wheels and realized as soon as I got home, where'd I put those Nectars? And I was like, the last thing I remember was walking into the store and taking them and like holding them in my hand.
Gone.
Last time I saw them. I must have put them on the
Ran
counter.
into a guy 2 days ago who's wearing a Nectar cap.
Well, you know what I did? 2 days later,
Bought another pair.
same pair. Know why? Because I can drop Bowflex in the coupon code. I can support Sean.
Yep.
And I can get myself a good deal.
Nice.
I got 2 pairs that are on the way. Should be here any day now.
That's right. And if you need a mortgage, because the rates are extremely low, yet again, head over to Screen Door Mortgage. Reach out to Jimmy. He'll take care of you. He'll definitely do you right. He'll take the time to explain all the craziness that is a mortgage. Mortgages are a pain in the ass. Get it right the first time.
For real.
Seriously, head over to Screen Door Mortgage. And if you haven't had a chance to check us out on LinkedIn,
Really? Nice.
you can find us on Facebook.
We're getting headhunted.
Yeah, please do find us on our Facebook
Are
page.
we hiring?
Like us. Oh, yeah, absolutely. We need a new stew. And you can always find us on Instagram and Twitter at ITPH Podcast. And if you haven't had a chance to rate or review, Troy would really
Yes,
appreciate it.
I would. Greatly.
And if you want to send money to us because you've got just too much of it, you
Yep.
can always find us on Venmo at
Inside the Pout House. And guess what? It could be $1. We'll take any of it.
quite literally,
Yeah.
we're poor.
Yes.
Every time I play this intro song, I got to pay a royalty to Taylor Carson.
That's right.
I'm out 3 cents right now.
We'll see you next week, guys.
Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.
Cheers.
Peace out.
That was a pretty good podcast, don't you think?
I do.